Cousins, your packaging director at IDP. Maybe if you start by telling us a little bit about the company and what you do, that would be great.
Yeah, so IDP is International Direct Packaging. So we're factory direct, we don't deal with any middlemen at all. So all of our customers have full visibility of their packaging, substrates that are used, etc., etc. So we have 2 factories. We have one in Indonesia and we have one in China, and we employ around 1,500 people. They're both ambidextrous, can't say that. So from a disaster recovery point of view, if something was to happen with one of our factories, like COVID, which we've experienced of late, then the other factory is fully up and running to deliver anything from one factory to another. So, yeah.
So we're talking luxury packaging. I think, you and I have had a conversation before, and really, unsurprisingly to everybody that's watched the presentations this morning, sustainability is a huge part of that. Everyone should have a digitalization of packaging survey, and you'll see from some of the stats on there that sustainability is becoming even more important on the agenda. So, and I know if you just visit the IDP website, Elayne, it's you're all in on sustainability. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the company's sustainability journey, what it means for you, and why it's so important in the kind of the high-end packaging that you work with.
Yeah, we deal with loads of global brands, high-end luxury. Our factories are geared up for mass production, so tens of thousands of pieces of bags, boxes, the sort of products we produce. So it's primary packaging. So we'll do things from carton board for product, but for retailers. If you go into a store and you buy a nice cashmere jumper, then you'll probably go to the till point and they'll wrap it in nice tissue paper with a nice sticker, then they'll put it in a box, and then they'll put it in a nice bag. So you get the real shopping experience, the high-end luxury. So it's not like in one of the brown automated bags that you go and buy something for £10 and you pull it out. So our customers are using a lot of packaging and they want it to look luxury. So we're finding that these brands are coming to us saying that we want our packaging to be as sustainable as possible. And when we first had the conversation, when we were talking about luxury trends, the first thing I said was we've got to talk about sustainability.
Yeah.
So we have our clients that come to us and they'll say to us, is our packaging sustainable? So we know where all of our papers come from, our foils, everything like that, our glues, inks, etc., etc. So we can say, no, it's not, and this is what you need to do to make your packaging as sustainable as possible. But there are cost implications to that as well, obviously, and how much they want to spend. Or no, it's fine, it's fully recyclable, and that's good. So they'll come to us, but then we'll also go to them and say to them, do you know that your packaging isn't sustainable? This is something that we can work on with you and be very proactive with them, and to say these are the steps that you need to make your packaging sustainable, because we're talking thousands of pieces. Some of these global brands, they have thousands of stores, and then they also have their online business as well. We mainly specialise in primary packaging, so the packaging is what the consumer likes to keep. So if you buy yourself a nice pair of Jimmy Choo shoes for your wedding, you're going to keep probably the cotton pouch that it comes in, then you're going to put them back in the box, and that box is going to go on a shelf. We work with a company called Walpole, and they deal with about 200, and they're the voice basically for about 250 global luxury brands. And they were saying the other day that with primary packaging, it can be recyclable and people want it to be recyclable, but also because it's more of a keepsake. You can buy like a Rolex box. We know how much a box costs to manufacture, but they're online and they're retailing for £160 just for an empty box because people want them. Louis Vuitton bags, just a paper bag like this, £70. So people like to carry that bag down the street, or, I shopped at Louis Vuitton, I've got a nice handbag, etc., etc. So it's kind of customers are coming to us, they want sustainable packaging, they know they need to have sustainable packaging, But then we're also going to them and being proactive and saying, we can make your packaging sustainable. So, yeah.
And how does that, how does that conversation go? If you're a brand and, you want to be more sustainable from the consumer side, you have to, consumers are demanding more sustainable packaging. And then you're saying, well, you need to do this, this and this and replace it. How do they, I imagine if you're saying it's going to be more expensive, it's going to be a little different, how do you kind of educate them that that's the better way? And is there some pushback on, this doesn't look as good because this isn't, it doesn't have the magnet on or so on? How does that kind of conversation go?
I think you can make luxury look, from an environmental point of view, from being recyclable, you can make it look super luxury. I've got some things that I'm going to show you how, you can go from unsustainable to sustainable. Very, very simple things that they can do. But the consumers are pushing, and they do have brand loyalty, but they also, what with climate change and everything that's going on, they want their brands to be doing the right thing, not just greenwashing, but to do the right thing. So if they know that the brand that they're using isn't doing as it should, they'll switch. There's a lot of luxury brands out there.
Yeah.
So I can show you some examples of the sort of things that we're doing.
I know you've got. I've seen one earlier with the replacement for the magnet. So it just kind of it'd be great.
So
to show.
one of the first things is we're eliminating plastic.
Yeah.
So lamination wraps. So that's something we don't get asked for it a lot, but we'll have new brands come to us and send us a set of their packaging and say, this is what we're currently using. The first thing is like, well, get rid of the plastic. You don't need it. You really don't. And actually, when you take away your lamination, craft paper, it actually feels lovely. The texture. So this is molten brown that we work with. So if you look there, this is just, it's a dyed paper, craft paper. We use aqueous varnishes, water-based inks. And then what we can do with the craft paper, once you take away the lamination, you get rid of that shine. I always think matte looks more luxury anyway. And then we actually worked with them and designed an emboss. So it's a deboss with an emboss inside it. So we've put this over that. And I think, personally, I'm biased anyway, but I think that looks quite glorious. I think it looks quite nice. So one of the things when we started working with Molten Brown was they had magnets, which you're probably all aware of with boxes, that they have two magnets in these points here to close it. And we were like, you've got to get away with it, because one of the things that consumers want ease. They don't want a product that they're going to get and they've then got to start ripping magnets out of it. And, they'll either then just put it in the general waste landfill, or they will try to do the right thing. So we went to them and said, look, we've got a way that we can actually eliminate the magnets, and you can still have a closure on your box. So because of where our factories are, a lot of the things that we do are flat packed, because otherwise you're just shipping air. But we do element of rigid board if needed. So this will typically come like that. And here's what I made earlier, this one here. And then it's just got a tab. This is patent pending. We came up with this in 2016. And it's simply, once you've made the box, and you just simply stick that in there, and then it just closes. And that is then fully recyclable. That can go into the right bin. Also, we can do other things. So with this as well, because they wanted presentation boxes, so you just simply turn it around like this, and then it's got an additional tab that then can go and close in there. So then they can do displays in their store. So we come up with a lot. We have some really, really amazing people in our sampling and production teams that come up with amazing ideas constantly, because we're being asked for it. They want something different. What can we do? So that's the simplest thing. So two things that customers can do: take away the lamination, get rid of it, and then you can add tab closures to them. Another thing that we're playing with at the moment is like a buckle closure as well. So again, you can actually put your logo on there. Again, FRB, folding rigid board. And then this is a totally different closure. So you're getting rid now of the plastic, the peelable strips of plastic here. So we call this an easy lock, which again, patented to us. That simply folds in. These flaps go down like that. And then buckle closure there. Again, fully recyclable. Another thing we're doing is people think that handles on bags as well, they'll think, right, okay, it's cotton, it's recyclable. Or they'll go, we'll use an rPET, we'll use a recycled grow grain ribbon, it's recyclable. But the thing is, when you go to a recycling skip, I went there, I took loads of samples to the plant. And I said, where do I put these? And they said, oh, if it's got the handle in it, then you just put it in general fill. And also the thing with this is you will rip them out, but they get lost on the conveyor belts and they end up in landfill. So what we're saying is there's a couple of things that you can do. You can have no handles at all, and you can have die-cut slits in your bags. But the other thing that we're promoting is paper handles. So this bag here. And then you've got the paper handles as well. So then that's fully recyclable. Yeah. So we're just coming up with ways constantly that people will come to us now. And if you look on LinkedIn, all we're doing is talking about sustainability again and again and again and again, because it's what people want. Yeah. And some people will come to us and they'll say, for Christmas, we want a box that's, 100% foil, looks great, Christmassy, etc., etc. And we're like, there are recyclable foils out there, but we're like, with a surface area, you really need about 40% to make it recyclable. But there are people that still don't want that. They want the glitz and they want it to look good to sell their product that's inside it. But that really isn't the right thing that you should be doing, and we will promote it. We do have a voice. We don't just, brands come to us because they trust us and they see like the plethora of people that we're working with. So we're like, we don't just take an order. So we won't just say to someone, we want to work with Gucci, we want to work with Chanel, we want to work with this, so we'll take it. We'll actually say, do we want to work with you as well? Are you doing the right thing for the planet? And it's like a partnership really, and it's investing on a journey together. So, amazing. Have I got anything else in here? Oh yeah, this, oh my God, how did I forget this? So, we've got a patent on this now, okay? So in a lot of luxury, you get foam inserts, fat foam, etc., etc. Whereas now we have a collapsible, we use F-loop as well, all FSC, PCW papers as well. And this pops up and it's an insert. We can do it so that they're actually half cylinders as well. And so they come across the water, you make your box all lovely, and then you just make these up and put them inside. And we can do them for any product. So what we do is our customer will send us their products. We're doing it at the moment with a really, really expensive skin range. And they'll send us the pots, and then we make the correct sizes. And then this is just a sample. And then they actually lock in. So I'm happy to pass it round at the end. So again, fully recyclable. We like that.
Fantastic. We've got lots of great stuff in that massive bag of goodies there.
We have our creative head, Avelio. He's based in Arizona in America. And he's actually, these are things we don't have to do, but we want to do. But this is available to download online, sustainable guide here. But I've just bought a couple of printed versions. But it is for our customers to download and to, there's questions in here, are you doing this? Are you not doing this? To actually find out, because it's such a massive area that, a lot of people are so uneducated in, is what is sustainable, like biodegradable plastics. Some people will say it's sustainable, some will say they won't. So they're not, sorry. Yeah. So we're actually sending these out to our customers, just an additional, is it sustainable?
All right, and it's about education, like you said, and it's about ease. I think someone else was talking about that today. If you know that you're producing this and it's fully recyclable, that makes it so easy for the end consumer, and they still look, none of that looks like the quality has been compromised at all because it's fully recyclable. And I think, from my perspective, it seems like that experience with packaging, with brands, is getting even more important. If you look at kind of younger people they like that unboxing experience, looks good on social media. in terms of a trend that sustainability plays into, is that something that's kind of more important than ever in luxury packaging?
The unboxing
And just the experience, the feel of the packaging.
Yeah, everyone likes touchy-feely.
Yeah.
They like tissue paper, for example. If something's thin, we have something called like a sound test. And if something's very thin and it's crisp, it doesn't really feel luxury.
Yeah.
It needs to, a bit thicker, etc., etc. People want the unboxing experience. So I think we touched on as well, with primary packaging, people tend to keep it. So a lot of people will tend to keep these products or sell their Rolex box online for 160 quid. But with secondary packaging, so your e-com, that's a bit of an area for me. It tends to be discarded very easily. It's used once, there's nothing wrong with it, and then it's just thrown away. So I think with primary, there is a keepsake to it, to an element. People pay for it and they'll keep it in their cupboards, etc., etc. We also do like fabric tote bags as well, which more people are getting into, bags for life that they're tending people keep as well. But for us, we do secondary packaging, e-com boxes, your carton board. But it'd be great if there would be a way that these could be reused. So, for example, a customer buys something on Amazon, they buy 3 tea towels in a box that big, it gets delivered to their house, and it would be great if they could somehow just flat pack it, put a label on it, and send it back to be used again. And it could, close the loop, so they can be used time and time and time again, because if you go past all the green bins, there's just cardboard everywhere. So it would be good if there was that option, or someone starts doing something about reusing this brown board.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you for showing us your great samples.